Good evening, everybody. I'm going to speak very briefly this evening. First of all, to say thank you very much indeed for coming along and for supporting this wonderful exhibition. I just wanted to say a couple of thanks. First of all, I would like to thank David Shaw, who set up and founded the Veterans Foundation, who have supported us religiously since 2012. So thank you very much, David. I would also like to thank Robin, who is our art tutor, who has...
Thank you.
Who works and teaches every single week and takes artists on retreats, and these are the results. So thank you very much, Robin. And finally, I would like to say a huge thank you to all the artists who have painted and got their paintings ready and brought them down and cycled them in and flown them in and brought them all into this space. Thank you for all of your hard work and all of your stunning paintings, and it's just a pleasure to have them all together.
Hello, I'm David Hines. I'm a Chelsea pensioner. I spent 26 years in the army, in the infantry mainly, served in Belfast quite a lot. I suffered PTSD, severe PTSD, and I'm not mobile, so I look to art and I see art as a way forward, as a relaxant for me. I really get into my zone when I'm painting. I also do pottery, so I'm very creative, and I didn't used to be creative. I had trauma and demons and Mr. Angry, that's who I was, until I picked the paintbrush up, and the paintbrush came from my heart, through my arms to this brush, and I just painted how I felt, and that's how I paint today. I think painting is a reflection, and art is a reflection of how I feel. And it's the first time I've ever exhibited anything in public is now. And I'm a very proud person. I'm very proud to be a part of the Art Academy for the soldiers. And it's such... Giving is so important to me in my art. It's giving, and to support something like the Soldiers Art Academy is very important. And today in Mayfair, we have the opening of our art exhibition, and I am so pleased to be here. And today I was at the flower show, but that's got nothing on here. Today is such an immense milestone for me, showing some of my work and my feelings. And I'm happy to be here. Art is wonderful, and what I would say to anybody, give it a go. Pick up a paintbrush, pick up a pencil, open a sketchbook and just do it. You know, I'm experimental, and that's the way I am. I paint on Bako foil, newspaper. I'll paint on anything that shows an expression of how I feel at the time of my painting. Yeah. Good, it's good. Good for the soul, good for the brain, good for the heart, good for other people.
Hiya, I'm Amber Guy-Mahoskin. I was in the army for 11 years as a combat medical technician. So my thing with painting, I loved pop art as a child, and then I stopped doing it for my 11 years in the army, and I got out, and with CPTSD I was like, you know what, I'm going to start painting again for healing, and that's the way I started expressing myself and enjoying myself with painting, and found a new... It's a little bit more than a hobby now. It's become part of my healing journey with just painting and expressing, a bit of pop art, contemporary, and a bit of street art. So this lady is just representing female soldiers in the military. As we know, there's plenty of men, but the female do not get spoken about enough, I don't believe. It's always like men in the military, men with mental health, men are on the front line, but actually women are on the front line, and I was on the front line in Afghanistan along with many female medics, which was brilliant. I think this just shows a great expression of female, strong women, even petites but strong as well. So yeah, that's why I love painting. It helps heal and show the world that there's more to military than just men.
Thank you. I'm David Shaw, and as you heard earlier, I had something to do with the Veterans Foundation. And I have to say a big thank you to Amanda, because ever since the Soldiers Arts Academy was conceived, I think just before the pandemic, but especially during the pandemic, an awful lot of veterans got the benefit of all the different cultural talents that people could expose. And here you're seeing the painting, but also the theatre, the photography, the sculpturing, and et cetera, et cetera. So there's an awful lot. And what always amazed me in the Veterans Foundation is that, yes, we would, and it wasn't me, it was the Veterans Foundation and the good old trustees who would allocate money to the Soldiers Arts Academy for the good that they could see that was going into veterans, and the good that veterans were gaining from that. But somehow I've watched the Soldiers Arts Academy bump up and down in terms of finance, because of course it's really difficult to get money nowadays, but somehow Amanda does do that. And so a huge thanks, because without money it doesn't go anywhere. So that's really, really important. So well done, Amanda, for doing that. And a final word, particularly to all the veterans of different shapes and sizes here, for putting their pictures out here. I think the standard has really gone up, actually, just from last year when I first came here, and it's great to see. So thank you, Robin, for your tuition, online and face-to-face. I feel quite frightened when I go listen to his orders and being told how to do things properly. Anyway, there we go. Thanks, Robin. And thank you, everybody, for coming along. Please spread the word. Publicity is really, really important. So please spread the word about the Soldiers Arts Academy and all the work they do, and encourage people to come along and see the work, and actually look on the websites and so on. Yeah.
Hi, I'm Sarah Davis. I've been affiliated with the Soldiers Arts Academy for the last 8 years. I've done theatre, and I've done painting, I've done music and singing. Painting specifically, we're at the gallery today. I've got my Eagle of Freedom and my Three Wise Koi, both very different, because I wanted to experiment, and I think the Soldiers Arts Academy gives me the opportunity to explore that and just have fun, and just don't be afraid to try something new. We've got acrylic on board, and we've got oil, and very, very different mediums. And I've just had fun with the process, really, and it's just been really nice to switch off, do something different, like a bit of conscious meditation, and just lose yourself in a paintbrush. And it's just a really nice cathartic way of relaxing but doing something at the same time. So yeah, this is my work.
My name is Sarah Berger, and I became involved with the Soldiers Arts Academy because my father was in the Navy. He was an admiral, and I'm actually an actor, and I worked with other veterans in the play Soldier On, and I've actually done some paintings of that play behind me here. Yeah, and the reason that I started painting was because I had a tumour wrapped around my spine, and I couldn't walk for a bit, and which meant I couldn't act for a bit. and I still wanted to be creative, and so I, Frida Kahlo-like, built a little board up in my bed, and I started painting. This is 2 years ago. And then I was fortunate enough to know the indomitable Amanda Faber, and I started to join in with that side of the work that they're doing here. And I can testify that the wonderful thing about art and being creative is, A, it allows you to express yourself, and also it doesn't matter what you're going through or what your fear is or sometimes your joy is, you lose yourself entirely in the process of making something, and you never stop learning.
So Amanda said for me to say a few words. I've written things down, so apologies, I'm reading here, so I'll try not to read too obviously. But yeah, so thanks for coming. So the exhibition is an incredible result of the Soldiers Arts Academy. Thank you, Amanda. So we focus on creating a space, that's the Soldiers Arts Academy, that is it's a creative space, but there's discipline. And I know there's mentioned, David mentioned about discipline, but there is an amount of discipline in art, and you have to be disciplined to see it through. So everybody here, this is the result of that. It's incredible. You also have to live it. So creating art, any creative process, is something that you live through. A key part of what we do in the Soldiers Arts Academy, and what I do, is working from life. So, and I always encourage that. So experiencing the moment in front of it, working from life. There's a big difference between that and working from a photograph. I do say that, and I know you know, as an artist, professional artist, artists do work from photographs. I understand the need for that, but if you can, always work from life, and that's what we do here. That's what I'm always saying to people. So with that comes vulnerability, and you're responding to something, whether it's a vase of flowers or a person or a scene, and you feel vulnerable. And, I think it's worth remembering that. And, so whilst I joke about it and often just say, just step up, just put some marks down, make a paint slosh. And I do say that, and I suppose I'm saying it to myself as much as to the person that I'm teaching, because it can be quite a vulnerable experience. So, again, this is amazing. This is also a result of a degree of vulnerability, because we've stepped forward and we've created something. And creating something is actually quite a difficult thing. So there are many ways to sort of create something, and there's many ways that we try to find a way into our subject. And that's also interesting. And we can look around us today, and there's such a variety of work. And I have to say that, as David said, I walk into this gallery, and I'm like, oh my gosh, what a selection of work. And I've seen a lot of galleries. And to have such a varied amount of work which holds together as this cohesive body of work, it's incredible. So, yeah, really impressive. Ultimately, it also, creating the work, comes back to the nature of ourselves and who we are as an individual. which again, you have to face that. You have to face that part of yourself when you create something, which is also difficult, and it is a vulnerable experience because sometimes we look deeply within ourselves. So if we do that, that's where the authentic voice occurs. That's where something real happens. And again, you know, in certain realms, like some galleries in London, I'm known as the gas man. Like, geez, you know, is this what it's come to be a painter? And that's because I painted gas cylinders. Because I resonated with the gas cylinder. What the heck's that about? Is it flowers? No. Is it a beautiful scene? It's a gas cylinder. Because that, to me, was something that I wanted to paint. Oh, my gosh. Every painting I've done of a gas cylinder has sold. How weird is that? I never would have thought about that. So, you know what I mean? So that's being authentic and stepping up and saying, do you know what? I'm going to paint that. I'm going to paint the heck out of that gas cylinder. And it works. It works. Be authentic. Stay engaged, be authentic, stay curious, and that's another thing as well. Everybody here is curious. They're looking at things, and I often run the parallel of being an artist. When you're in the street, for example, in a very public space, and you take away your easel, you take away it disappears, it's invisible to everybody else apart from you. People are passing in the street, they go, geez, that person is still there after 2 hours. Oh my gosh, 3 hours later, there they are, observing this scene. What a great thing that is. You lose time doing that. That's what painting does. And all other creative pursuits as well, but in particular painting, because we're here in the gallery. And for me, that's what painting is. You lose your time. And it is just an incredible thing. Also, there's growth. So as painters, there's a humbleness in being a painter, because you've got to grow. And every time you do a painting, you're growing. Today we did a workshop. We learned something interesting today, and I said to David, you know, you put in your primary colours within a painting. You put a hierarchy, but you put some primary colours in that painting, and it creates a choreography of colour, and it works. And this is a new thing. This is just something we were talking about this morning. I'm like, gosh, I've never actually said that in years of painting. It's amazing. So, anyway, I'll finish up. So, the work here isn't just about, obviously, all these finished pieces. It's about, like I said, stepping forward honestly and engaging openly. So in that way, just to finish up, art, like poetry, philosophy, I suppose, is incorruptible. And I think seeing this incorruptible authenticity on the walls is a privilege. Thank you, and enjoy it.
Okay, so here I am at 54, the gallery, with the exhibition, Soldiers Arts Academy exhibition of some great artwork. So I've been involved with as a trustee for a few years, helping Amanda with my view on art. So I used to be in the army. I was blown up in 2012, suffered a brain injury, and my first meeting with Amanda was back in 2012 when I was involved in a West End play called The Two Worlds of Charlie F. From Amanda's experience with that play and seeing how beneficial it was to injured veterans, she decided to create a charity called the Soldiers Arts Academy, using the medium of art, such as music, theatre, poetry, sculpture, a variety of different mediums, and there's a bunch of artists, a bunch of veterans who are involved, and it's been life-changing for many of us because it's given us a focus, it's given us an understanding of the beauty of life, and it's helped us change our perspective from when we were feeling quite disillusioned and low about our previous injuries and wounds and negative experiences into a blossoming community of artists.
I'm Patrick Morrison, and since I heard about the Soldiers Art charity, I thought I had to get involved. I met Amanda at a print course, and it just really sparked my curiosity. And I've trained in art many years ago, and then stepped away from it. So coming back to it was great. My life has been so positively impacted by art. I just felt that anything I could do to help the charity, get involved, and hopefully sell some of my work here to benefit the charity would be fantastic. Because art for me really has been the formative thing in my life, and I know it helps through bad times and good times. And I just think, as a charity, any arts charity really has my vote, because it's such a strong positive outcomes. Art in the community, art in medicine, that is exactly what I wanted to get involved with. So as soon as I saw the opportunity, I jumped right on it. We're exhibiting here for a week at Gallery 54 in Mayfair, so just in Shepherd's Market. So you've got to come down, it's so fabulous.
Hi, my name's Rich Hughes. I am an aspiring amateur artist, shall we say. I got involved with the Soldiers Arts Academy just over a year ago. This is my second exhibition here at Gallery 54. I'm a former Royal Marine, and I painted a bit when I was a kid at school, and then it sort of completely fell by the wayside and hadn't done it for kind of 25 years. And then I picked it up last year, and with Robin's help, I've just been developing my artwork and working out how to paint with oils. It's amazing, I love it now. And I've drawn sort of life experiences, paint quite a lot of the ocean, quite a lot of sort of beach scenes, another beach scene there, and then some surf scenes. And yeah, I really love it. I find it incredibly meditative to just sit and paint. And some days it's great, and I can feel like I'm flowing and my paint is going down well, and it looks like a piece of art. And then other days it looks like a spider school. So that's part of the fun of the ups and downs of it all. So yeah, I love it. It's great. I'm very thankful to the Soldiers Arts Academy for what it's brought to me in my life, and brought some new sort of calm and peace. So thank you.